Got it so far? Now we go to the magenta or pink or whatever you want to call it. This is methane in carbon dioxide equivalents using those factors of either 33 or 105. You can convert the effect of methane into the equivalent effect of carbon dioxide using global warming potential, but you have to have a time horizon, hence 2 charts. So here's a black horizontal line which says in the worst case scenario, if our worst fears come true and the highest estimates we are able to gather from the data from the industry are true, then the grams of carbon equivalent per megajoule of energy coming from unconventional shale is this value, and the value coming from different kinds of coal, surface mine coal, deep mine coal, are these values, and the value coming from petroleum is this value. That's the worst case scenario. We hope it's not true. We think the best case scenario is this horizontal line which says, okay, if we take the lower bounds of all those estimates, then we're looking at this horizontal line right here, and if we go across, it says that production of gas from shale has the equivalent warming potential on global greenhouse gas on climate change that is greater than that of coal or oil. So the myth is that natural gas is a clean fossil fuel. Yeah, the blue bars prove that, but that's not the whole story. The whole story of the myth is not the kernel of truth, it's the whole story. You have to listen from beginning to end, and then you have to ask questions about the myth. So that's the 20-year horizon. Let's go to the 100-year horizon, although I really don't want to go there, because if we're having this conversation 100 years from now, well, we're not going to have that conversation 100 years from now. Our children aren't going to have that conversation. Our grandchildren aren't going to have that conversation. But if we're having this conversation 30 years from now, we didn't do good for our kids. But we'll do it, because the reviewers wanted us to do it. So let's go down to the 100-year. Now, we can come back and talk about conventional gas later. Conventional gas isn't tremendously better, by the way. So go down to the 100-year upper bound, the worst case scenario for unconventional gas, still worse than coal, still worse than oil. Lower bound, comparable to coal, about the same as oil. So is it true that life cycle, natural gas, production, use, burning, is twice as good or less than half as bad as coal? No, we don't think so. We think the truth is closer to about the same as. And when the industry gives us better numbers, we'll tighten up those error bars and give you a better answer. And hopefully there are other scientists. I understand there's a group at Carnegie Mellon doing a very similar study. We're anxious to hear. We have somebody from the National Energy Technology Lab giving a seminar at Cornell next week. We're meeting with him, and he apparently also has a study. So we're going to find out how close our numbers are to those numbers soon. But I think we should have done these studies before we got started, because again, this is national energy policy. Okay, last couple of slides. The reaction to our paper, and now recently the reaction to the Duke paper. I'm going to return to that theme. So another mini-myth the industry has said over and over again in Pennsylvania, I'm sure, I know they say it in New York every day, do the science and we'll be proven right. So we do the science and they won't accept it. Okay. A chart of gas industry lobbying contributions from the various elements of the gas industry. These are 2000, I'm sorry, that's not 2020, it's 2010. I hope it's not 2020. These are 2010 actual gas industry lobbying expenditures as reported to the federal government. You can look it up yourself. And I want you to note that the America's Natural Gas Alliance, ANGA, contributed $3.4 million to lobbying. I think they also contributed a lot of money to Google, because I'm trying not to be emotional here. My colleague Bob Howarth, who is a very prestigious chaired professor at Cornell, world-renowned for his work in geohydrochemistry. He's an environmental scientist of repute. I'm not bad myself, but it's all right. So if you Google, go home tonight and Google the name Howarth, H-O-W-A-R-T-H. That's his last name. I'm going to show you what you're going to get. Here's the Google page. Look at the first thing on the Google page. It's an ad. Experts speak on Howarth. Natural gas is a cleaner energy alternative. Do you know how much it costs to get the first ad on a Google page? And not just the first Google page, but there are thousands of Google pages under Howarth, and every single page starts with that ad. They're playing dirty, folks. They're attacking the messenger. The ad isn't. The science done at Cornell is questionable. Let me tell you what if you hit that, this is what you get. Experts speak out. Howarth study. I'm going to blow up this first paragraph. I hope you enjoy reading it as I did. This is the kind of thing that incites me to further research. I'm going to read it. A recent study by Cornell University's Robert Howarth and Anthony Ingraffea, that's me, inaccurately claims that natural gas is more carbon intensive than coal. A wide array of highly credentialed scientists and experts are stepping forward to challenge this reckless claim and explain the faulty methodology that produced this patently false conclusion. So if you go to the site, you'll notice that these highly credentialed scientists are all quoted from blogs. I'm going to show you one of the blogs in a minute, somebody you know and maybe even love. But what they're citing here are statements from 4 blogs. Now let me tell you what's wrong, among the many things that's wrong in this whole area right now, and this is something I really get kind of emotional about. People say, well, there's 2 sides to the issue. Professor Ingraffea, you published a paper, and these guys published their blogs. It's funny at first, but think about it. If we've gotten to a point in this country where scientific debate is equating as symmetry that which is peer-reviewed in a prestigious journal with that which is published anonymously on a blog by somebody whose credentials you do not know, are there 2 sides to the issue? No, there's still only one. What does that say about our academic establishment, which is built upon, at all levels, whether we're talking about environment or national defense or human health, it's built upon peer-reviewed publication in journals of note. It's not built upon somebody's personal opinion in a blog. And to equate those as 2 sides of an issue is nonsense. So here are 4 blog statements. Let me show you one of the blogs. Anybody remember John Hanger? So this is from his Facts of the Day blog. And is John in the audience? Any relatives of John in the audience? Any friends of John in the audience? Bring them on. Arm wrestle right here. Come on. I thought John was a better scientist than this. To allow his name to be used on this website to attack the messengers without first doing the work and having in his hands only the draft, the pre-review draft of the paper, is, you finish the sentence. Yeah, okay. So myth, natural gas is a clean fossil fuel. Truth, over its life cycle, unconventional natural gas, and now I'm being a scientist, is likely no cleaner than coal or petroleum. I'm not going to go out and make some absurd statement which says we're absolutely certain that it's twice as dirty as coal. The data doesn't show that. I showed you an upper bound and a lower bound. The truth is someplace in between. What I just said is a true statement, and I'll stand by it. And whatever study Professor John Hanger says is going to be happening by somebody in the industry to refute what we do, I hope it's peer-reviewed. And conventional gas is comparable in its global greenhouse gas impact.